Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about buying a used motorcycle. We're going to look at the different models and talk about what documents that you need in order to buy a motorcycle here. So as you can see, there's a lot of different kinds of motorcycles to choose from. So first we're going to talk about what you should be looking for in a used motorcycle. So for one, you want to decide whether you want an automatic or do you want one that you have to shift. If it's your first time with a motorcycle or you're just not that familiar with riding motorcycles, I would definitely say you need to look at an automatic transmission type. Another thing you would want to look at is how powerful of a motorcycle do you want? So they go by CCs here for the engine size. Just to give you an idea, there's a 110, and that's about powerful enough to get one person up a mountain very, very slowly, like barely at all. There's a 125. That's enough to get two people up some mountains. If it's too steep, it may not work at all, depending on the size of the two people on the motorcycle. When you get up above 125, let's say to 150 to 160, that will easily get you up some mountains with two people. Anything over that, and you've got speed no matter what you want to do. Next, we're going to look at the different models. This right here is called a Grand Filano. There's a Filano and a Grand Filano. The Grand Filano's got a little bit more bells and whistles, a little bit prettier. This is an automatic, and it looks like the price on this one in baht is 56,900. Next to it is another Filano, and it is 42,900. So there is one type that is very popular here in Thailand. Next, we have the Honda Wave. Now, this is one that you would have to shift. It has a unique shifting system here, and you can see it looks like a teeter-totter, but that's how you shift up and down right there. So if you are interested in shifting, this is an affordable motorcycle. I'm going to call it the workhorse of Thailand. You'll see these everywhere, but again, it is a little bit more difficult to drive than an automatic. So the price on one of these used is 33,900 baht. There is another one next to it. These are going to vary in prices depending on the year and everything else. This one is 38,900 baht. Now here's a popular model. It's called the Honda Click. It is 125 cc and it is an automatic. They come in all different kinds of styles, meaning the looks. And the newer ones go up to a 160. This one is 47,900 baht. There's another color right next to it. It's in a blue. That one is 57,900 baht. On a side note, if you are looking to move here to Thailand, we do offer a guide step-by-step to moving here to Thailand to get yourself situated and make things smoother for the transition. If you go to Buy Me a Coffee, there's a link down in the description. Go into the part that says Extras and click on that guide. You should be able to find it pretty easily. Here we have the Honda Super Cub. It's a 110 cc, so again, this is a lower engine. It's going to have some trouble getting up the mountains, but if you're on flat surfaces, this thing can just scoot right along on flat roads. It does real well. The price on this is 35,900 baht. You can find these in all kinds of different colors. They're a really cool and classy looking motorcycle. So keep in mind though that it does have that shifter that I showed you earlier where you've got the rocker shifter on there. It looks like a teeter-totter. So if that's not your thing, this is not the motorcycle for you. Here it is the same motorcycle in a red color. You could find pink, purple, and everything else under the sun. Another super popular model, especially with the women, is the Honda Scoopy. These are usually 125, so these will get you up the mountains and everything else. They're found in all kinds of colors, so any color you can imagine, they probably come in that color. This one is a white one. It is an automatic, so it's easy to drive. And then here's one next to it in red with a price on it, and it looks like it's 51,900 baht. And just to show you another one, same color scheme, 50,900 baht, and here is a blue one over here. So you can see they do come in different colors. This one is 54,900. So here's one that makes me drool. It is the Honda Forza, and these things have some serious CC in the 300 range, and I believe there's a model in the 700 range, so you got plenty of power. easily carry 2 people on there. If you're bigger or you're going to have 2 people, Westerners on there, this thing will just fly up the mountains and everything else. So the cost of this one is 87,900 baht used. I'm not sure what year that is. You would have to ask the person who worked here, but this thing is awesome. I really like these motorcycles. They pass me all the time, and yes, they come in different colors, and of course it's fully automatic. Here's a look at another Forza that they have here. Beautiful motorcycle. This one's 159,000 baht. It's got a year on there, so it's a 2021, and it also says the CC's on it. It's a 350 cc. Thing's a thing of beauty, and it's got all the power you'd ever need. Here is the Yamaha X-Max. This is Yamaha's basically version of the Forza. Excellent motorcycle. Would love to own one of these. So everything I said about the Forza pretty much goes the same for this one. 159,000 baht for this, but if you want power, speed, and to ride in luxury, try the Yamaha X-Max out. It's awesome. Now this is the Yamaha N-Max, not to be confused with the X-Max we saw earlier. This is the N-Max. This is very comparable to the Honda PCX. Comes in around 150, 160 range on the CCs. Excellent motorcycle. Can't say anything bad about this. I would highly recommend this if you are, let's say, a big Westerner, big American, and you need a lot of braking power, or there's 2 of you and you need to go up a mountain on this thing. Works really well. Here's an interesting motorcycle called the Cubix, is what it's called, QBX. They have a unique design, kind of futuristic. This one is 39,900. It is an automatic. I'm not sure of the CCs on this. I would assume that this one's probably a 125. You may want to look that model up if you're interested in it to see exactly what the specs are on this one, because I'm not too familiar with this. Now, for those of you who want to tour around Thailand on-road and off-road, at a lot of used places, you're going to find a big selection of these off-road bikes. Every name brand you could think of, from the African Twin on. So if you're looking for on-road or off-road, you can easily find that here in Thailand. And the prices on them are going to vary greatly depending on what you get. Next, we have the Yamaha PCX. This comes in both a 150 and the newer ones are 160. Super nice. I owned one of these. It'll get 2 people going up the steepest mountain at about 34 kilometers per hour, going straight up, so it will handle the mountains. And that was, I had a 160, so that is obviously a little bit more powerful than the 150. But this is a great motorcycle, great for use on the roads. Took it off-roading once, which it is not made for, so I don't suggest doing that, but it's a great all-around motorcycle. I would say this is a good in-between from the 125s and something like the Forza. This is a good in-between that's really good for 1 or 2 people. Here's a line of motorcycles called the Fino, made by Yamaha. Great little motorcycle, 125cc. Here's a used one for 21,700. It is for a smaller person, I will say that. If you're a big guy, it's gonna be a little small for you, but it is a really nice motorcycle. A friend of mine has one. She's had it for years. She really enjoys hers. I've ridden on it before, and that's how I know it's not really, if you're a little bit bigger. I weigh 200 pounds, a little bit small, but other than that, it is a great motorcycle. This one that I'm pointing at right now in the green is 21,700 baht. This one in the middle is probably older. It's 19,900 baht. So they do have Vespas here. Here is a Vespa for 78,800 baht in white. Nice looking motorcycle. As you can see, the Vespas come in many different colors, which makes them really kind of fun to shop for because of all the different colors they are in. Here's the Yamaha RX, and you'll find a lot of these in rental companies, so it must be a good motorcycle. Don't know much about this one. It is 155cc and fully automatic, and this will definitely get you up any mountain that you want to go with 2 people. May not be able to go too fast, but you will get up that mountain no problem. So this one is currently selling for 47,900 baht. So there's a look at the Yamaha RX. Now here's a motorcycle a friend of mine has for 81,900 baht. It is the Honda ADV. It's a 150. And a friend of mine, like I said, owns it and feels like it's like riding on a Cadillac. He says it's very comfortable, especially for two people. And it is kind of a smaller motorcycle than, let's say, the Forza or something like that, but it's good in between. Plus, this is a smaller CC than the Forza or the X-Max. But as you can see, it's got great suspension on there. There's a lot of upgrades on there, so consider the ADV 150. So when you buy a used motorcycle, some of the documents you're going to need would be a resident certificate. If that's a new term for you, that is a document that is here in Thailand that you would need to get from immigration. And you would also need to have your passport with you. And don't be surprised if when you're doing the paperwork that they need to hold your passport for about a week as they do all the legalities associated with it. At first, that can sound like a scary thing to do. And yes, you're supposed to keep your passport on you at all times. Just go ahead and take a picture of your passport, including the page that shows your active visa in there. So you have that at least on your phone while you're waiting to get your passport back. The time frame for getting your license is 30 days. If you were to get pulled over within that 30 days, just take the paperwork that they give you and keep that on the motorcycle and show it to the police officer, and they will know right away what's going on, that you just purchased a new bike and you're waiting for the tags. So if you're really concerned about buying a lemon motorcycle here, something that's going to fall apart after you buy it, don't be too concerned. I've had many of my friends buy from this exact place or from Facebook Marketplace, thinking they got the deal of the century, only to get it, and a month later something happens to the motorcycle and they need to get it fixed. The most expensive repair, which was, I think it was one of the pistons had blown, that only cost around $300 US. So just know to get these things fixed here in Thailand is very cheap. So don't let that discourage you. Know that when you get one of these used motorcycles that more than likely something is wrong or will go wrong. Just have it checked by a mechanic. And if anything needs to be fixed, just have it fixed. It's not too expensive. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. And if you feel so inclined, buy us a coffee, link down in the description. So I'm going to end this by saying thank you in Thai, which is Khap Kun Khap.